better dengan kau.
Oh, ya ke?
I don't hold it like this. This is so regimented, rigid. This is higher education, not military punya whatever.
So what would you do? What kind of
I'll
banter
speak to
would
them.
you do?
So who here comes from outside here? Who here comes from outside Malaysia? Who here comes from outside Southeast Asia? Thank you so much for making the trip. Have you calculated your greenhouse gases actually? Okay lah, daripada macam ni lah.
Then they just stop. Thank you so much for coming. Don't ask. Have you calculated about your green gas? How much?
That's why we're having this forum. Because all that will be taken care of in the future. For the necessary evil that we need to do, we give tons of good back. You see sponsors of the Wakaf Anu. So it should be smooth. So USM keluar kat mana? Incorporation with. Can't wait. The minister wouldn't like us.
Huh?
It's the young guys.
Already? How do you know?
Tengok pegawai dia semua. That's the best way to tell.
Oh, tiap pegawai semua.
And it was told to me also last night by someone. So I asked, hey, who's the siswa? Oh, sebutlah nama. Oh, tak kenal lah. Mungkin dia rasa muda. Oh, around maybe memang lelaki muda je. See, communication is very key. When I had a team, my team can't do that. Every single thing they say must be strategic and diplomatic. Ada je Sam nak buat media training. Ada. But you teach me, that's a problem. It's a discipline of knowledge in your campus. And your people don't exhibit it. So what does that mean? So don't ask me to pay thousands just to take your call. You know, we see cakap, let me know lah. Dato', if there's anything I can help, just inform. My black is always purple. Semua tukar. Kita buat campus baru, semua tukar. Pergi kat SSC semua. Ramai pelajar, kita nak buat intake, kita tak nak selah-selah. Kalau kenal sesiapa boleh, kita nak ambil lagi ramai. Mescom is popular juga. Kita macam, if that's all that he wants me to do, so fine.
Basically, he wants you to get more CVs.
Suggest some CVs to the dean of School of Vocation so that they can get staff for the KL campus. But that's
Staff?
money.
Oh, you talked to him already. Now you talk to him. So you know already.
That's the danger of talking to people. When they communicate with you, they also give you bullets to form an opinion about themselves.
And it's you. That's your job, isn't it? That's your
It
job.
comes to me automatically. So sometimes I don't like to burst the bubble, not knowing this.
No, ignorance is bliss, right? Now that you know, then what? You might either lose or gain some respect.
Saja nak pegang macam ni, karaoke tu nak tengok kat audio man.
Dekat siapa?
Kat audio man tu. Dia marah kita cakap tepi. Senang ya. Abang cuba abang baca nak kertas orang bagi ada nama tukar semua. Abang boleh ke duduk betul-betul depan ni? You see, a best technical crew is the crew that anticipates. Dia bukan kata ilmu dia A, so you kena ikut A je.
And he's all the way at the back. Yep. Okay. So, okay, sure.
Kalau yang dah biasa say something like, well, in the TV broadcasting world, my phone is always on silent. So if you want to be like me on TV today, you have to keep it silent. Gangnam Style ringtone, any other tone, if it sounds in this room, I hold the mic. So, I do things like that. That's why I don't like to write scripts.
But you know you can.
Because communication, no, I won't do that.
I don't think this is, look at the people here.
That's the saddest part, isn't it? Kind of people that should celebrate knowledge.
Uptight. But that's just how it is.
Yeah, if you never start a change, you will never change. Imagine those people in Germany that when they started the technology for the first bullet train, the rabbi said, tak boleh. Because the train's going to go so fast, your soul's going to be left behind. You nak lawan the church. Yes, it is. So,
Okay, what's happening there? Oh, those are the VIPs. So the minister has arrived in.
Farah, lelaki selalu kena duduk belakang kan. Yeah, I'm a rebel. So I put you on the right. For you more important.
I don't care.
I can, because some of those in front are all.
Yeah, so?
So I want them to see the message.
Sometimes does it occur to you that this message is only understood by you?
It's okay, even if there's one person that gets it.
Good enough,
That's
huh?
enough. And some of these people have been interviewed by me.
Oh, really? Of course, right?
You must get to know that guy.
Okay.
For you, itu pergi ABU. That's the datuk, the white hair, tall guy, hujung.
Who's he again?
APU? Should I stay you?
Who's he at APU?
He's the co-founder and
You didn't meet
CEO.
him? He did a sit with us during lunch, right?
Where will you come from? Finland?
Come. I didn't see him. That's quite a nice turnout, I think. But will be reduced drastically.
Mr. Ada. Look at the Mr.
Will be reduced drastically later on, nearing lunch. Tomorrow dia jadi suku.
You know the game.
Yeah.
In Sabah, Sarawak, Perlis, Kelantan, semua gitu.
What do you mean?
Very parochial. So bila leader tu, I've been to an event where there's only the staff kat depan. Dua row, yang semua kosong.
Tengok menukan. What stuff is that? No, sorry, what event was that?
NCIA, Northern Corridor Implementation Authority
Oh,
in Perlis.
oh yeah, yeah.
Waktu tu event organizer tu lah. Dia buat pukul 5. Kat Perlis 4 suku orang dah balik.
Oh, who does that? Kenapa? Why after hours?
Because of the VIP can only come. And then Syahidah Kassim wanted to sabotage it. Dia baru dethrone from being MD. So dia datang report on staff. Dia buat meeting dengan semua exco.
Fool everyone.
So the leaders tak ada. So tak ada. But the discussion was so good. And cluttered. I've given up on mainstreaming it.
I'm just thinking, oh, just smile and then wait for the minister. But no, you move a mile away thinking about the photographer's
Come on.
thought. Like it matters. It doesn't matter.
Smiling and waiting for minister is too. Your mind don't even have to think
No, I'm
about it.
thinking about something else. Like, what time is lunch? What am I going to do after this?
You want to meet the mic people? Hari ni yang kita habis. Tak.
What do you mean? Hari ni esok pun.
Tak, you kata hari ni yang 3:30.
Yes, yes.
So after that we have tea, right?
We have to, yeah.
Want to go see the mic people?
Can't. I have another meeting in the afternoon.
You see, my mind is free. Don't have to think about job. See, I hate this.
Why?
Every single thing not really a lot of people 10 kali, tapi even Singapore, how can you not worry about it? Worry about everything.
Only Malaysian minister is known for being passionate like that.
Here, his office is Putra Jaya.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is his president.
And actually, he's right there in the polling overseas.
That's called patriarchal and hierarchical. Sebab tu dia nak kena berbosan sedikit dalam jail.
Kata apa?
If he asked me for help, I would chart out his communication for him and his party for the next 50 years.
Six adik six.
Kau suka tolong orang teranai.
Why didn't you go? I mean, why didn't you join his cause?
Because I'm a journalist, I have to be neutral.
Why is it taking so long? Why is it taking so long?
So should we sing? Maybe they can play the video again.
Once is full.
No, they were playing video just now.
Tak lah, because kesian kan the people who actually come early for this. I know. Yeah lah, but people feel
So
embarrassed.
Durga is escalator. She's queuing you. That guy from Finland is just looking at us.
Who?
Yang rambut putih depan kita betul.
There are two of them.
The one that is separated by the empty chair. I
The
think
right
it was
side.
Finland. I was sitting there.
The right side.
Kenapa dia tengok kita?
He has nothing else to look at.
No, because dia tahu kita yang akan menjalankan
He's waiting for
this
us to say
goddamn
something.
stuff.
I don't like it when we start this late. It's embarrassing.
This is why I wanted you to be the MC, so that you know.
You don't have to know. I know.
So besok pun ada
already.
meeting tak?
So we finish late, right?
Yeah, you still have to eat dinner.
Why?
See, people,
Anytime. So I'll wait for you.
want to say something?
What's that?
Silence is deafening.
I'm just tired waiting.
Ladies and gentlemen, a little bird just told me, something is coming soon. So for those who haven't found a nice, comfy seat, please do. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of Datuk Seri Muhammad Khalid Nordin, Minister of Higher Education, Malaysia.
Accompanied by all of the respected guests.
I think you can say the request to stand. Ajak dia duduk.
I think they need to. See now? We kindly request for everyone to remain standing to sing the national anthem Negaraku. Thank you everyone for singing so patriotically. Everyone, you may sit down for the next song, which is Malaysia Madani song.
Peradaban kita bangunkan, bina kota, bina insan. Dari budi jadi budaya, bina asas kemampanan. Kesejahteraan masa depan. Ayo seluruh anak pertiwi, bangunkan Malaysia Madani. Sepenuh hati, jiwa, semangat, terus meyakini Malaysia Madani. Ayo seluruh anak pertiwi, semarakkan Malaysia Madani. Sepenuh hati, jiwa, semangat, terus meyakini Malaysia Madani. Keyakinan jadi ikutan, pendirian jiwa ihsan, nilai hormat keras diminda, daya cipta luar biasa. Kesejahteraan masa depan. Ayo seluruh anak pertiwi, bangunkan Malaysia Madani. Sepenuh hati, jiwa, semangat, terus meyakini Malaysia Madani. Ayo seluruh anak pertiwi, semarakkan Malaysia Madani. Sepenuh hati, jiwa, semangat, terus meyakini Malaysia Madani. Malaysia Madani, Malaysia Madani, Malaysia Madani. Malaysia Madani, Malaysia Madani, Malaysia Madani. Ayo seluruh anak pertiwi, bangunkan Malaysia Madani. Sepenuh
Yes, your clap is very much appreciated. I would like now to invite Mr. Muhammad Amirul Firdaus bin Buang for the Doa recital.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين اللهم يا رحمن يا رحيم. In conjunction with AIDS Global Higher Education Forum 2023, we ask for your help and guidance to make GHEF2023 a successful platform for stakeholders discussing and share views on current global issues and trends related to the equity recovery of the post-pandemic era. O Allah, kindly give us strength and courage to face all the struggles in order to foster multi-perspective discussions on various higher education issues at the institutional, national, regional, and international levels. Kindly bestow blessings, physical and spiritual health, fitness of mind, peace of mind, and strength of spirits. Allahumma ya Azizu ya Qahhar. Oh Allah, give strength to our government and our leaders to continue to serve for people, society, nation, and religion. Who Allah, make our country a country that God blessing, everlasting peace, and prosperity of all time. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amin, amin, ya Rabbil Alamin. And that's not just from us. It's also streamed live to currently all IPTAs or the public universities in Malaysia. So with that, good morning. Assalamualaikum and very, very warm welcome to you, Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Muhammad Khalid Nordin, the Minister of Higher Education. Yang berbahagia Datuk Haji Megat Sani Megat Ahmad Supian, Deputy Secretary General of Policy for Ministry of Higher Education. Yang berbahagia Datuk Dr. Muhammad Zabri Yusof, Deputy Secretary General for Management and Development for Ministry of Higher Education. Yang berusaha Profesor Dr. Adlinda Azman, Director General of Higher Education. Yang berusaha Dr. Haji Muhammad Zahari Ismail, Director General, Department of Polytechnic and Community College Education. Yang berbahagia Datuk Seri Dr. Awang Adik Hussein, Chairman Board of Governors, University Science Malaysia. Yang berbahagia Profesor Datuk Seri Insinyur Dr. Abdul Rahman Muhammad, Vice Chancellor, University Science Malaysia. Embassies and High Commissioners, Universities Vice Chancellors, Chairman of University Board of Directors, Senior Officers of Ministry of Higher Education Malaysia, Chief Executive Officers of the private universities, sponsors and collaborators, ladies and gentlemen, participants of GHEF 2023. A fool's brain digests philosophy into folly, science into superstition, and art into pedantry, hence university education.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is a thoughtful quote from George Bernard Shaw, a public intellectual from the West from the last century, to kick off Global Higher Education Forum 2023, or GHEF 2023, this morning. I am Dr. Nur Azalia Kamaruzaman, a proud USM staff who will be with you for the next 2 days of the forum with my super senior here.
If I Google super senior, maybe might mean ancient, but she's the boss of the Poison Institute and Center in USM, so I don't dare disagree. Indeed, I am Kamaru Barin, a proud and seasoned USM graduate who will keep Dr. Azalia and all of you company throughout GHEF 2023. We are very, very delighted to welcome you to the opening ceremony of the 8th Global Higher Education Forum 2023, Equity Recovery, Higher Education in the Post-Pandemic Era.
The Global Higher Education Forum, GHEF, is a biennial event initiated in 2007, which is co-organized by the Ministry of Higher Education and University Science Malaysia in cooperation with multiple local and international co-organizers. This forum brings together scholars, policymakers, researchers, academics, administrators, students, industries, and the like to reflect, discuss, and debate issues confronting higher education in national and global contexts.
The 8th Global Higher Education Forum 2023, or GHEF 2023, has chosen its theme this year, Equity Recovery, Higher Education in the Post-Pandemic Era. Arguably, the theme for GHEF 2023 reflects the focuses and concerns of higher education in the post-pandemic era. This platform gives an opportunity to foster a lot of things, multi-perspective discussions on various higher education issues at institutional, national, regional, and international levels. GHEF 2023 facilitates collaborations and enhances networking at national, regional, and international levels in higher education development, with Malaysia playing a pivotal role.
Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we will now listen to the opening speech delivered by the Yang Berbahagia Professor Datuk Seri Insinyur Dr. Abdul Rahman Muhammad, FASC Deputy Chairperson, Steering Committee, GHEF 2023, as well as the Vice Chancellor of University Science Malaysia.
Yes, a big round of applause, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. Yang berhormat Datuk Seri Muhammad Khalid Nordin, Minister of Higher Education. Yang berbahagia Datuk Dr. Haji Megat Sani Megat Ahmad Sufian, Director Secretary General. Yang berbahagia Datuk Muhammad Zabri Yusof, Deputy Secretary General, Management and Development. Yang berusaha Profesor Dr. Azlinda, Director General of Higher Education. Yang berusaha Dr. Haji Muhammad Zahari Ismail, Director General, Department of Polytechnic and Community College Education. Yang berbahagia Datuk Seri Dr. Awang Adi Husin, Chairman, Board of the Governors, University Science Malaysia, Embassies and Higher Commissioners, University Vice Chancellor, Chairman of the University Board of Directors, Senior Officers of Ministry of Higher Education Malaysia, Chief Executive Officers of the private universities, sponsors and collaborators, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of University Science Malaysia, USM, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all the delegates to the 8th Global Higher Education Forum 2023. It is indeed a privilege for me to be here today, joining hands with the Ministry of Higher Education to host this forum in the presence of the Minister of Higher Education, Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Muhammad Khalid Nordin. Ladies and gentlemen, the 8th Global Higher Education Forum 2023, with its theme, Equity Recovery, Higher Education in the Post-Pandemic Era, is an extremely relevant subject to explore. Transformation in higher education triggered by the pandemic is still ongoing, even though most of the countries are now at the endemic stage. The pandemic is a unique opportunity for educators and policymakers to rethink education system and reimagine what is important and necessary for future generations. In order to provide a better environment, it has been recognized that a higher education system that provides equal opportunity for all students to succeed, regardless of their backgrounds, is crucial and necessary This is what equity is all about. In the Times Higher Education Impact Ranking 2023, USM is championing in SDG 4, quality education, SDG 5, gender equality, and SDG 10, reduce inequalities. This shows USM commitment to support inclusivity and also diversity in higher education for a sustainable future. I would like to record my personal thanks and deepest appreciation to the Ministry of Higher Education, MOHI, and also the Secretariat from USM for organizing this successful event. On that note, I thank you all once again for being here and wishing you a fruitful and engaging session. Sekian, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Yang Berbahagia Profesor Datuk Seri Insinyur Dr. Abdul Rahman for the warm opening remarks.
And now we would like to invite Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Muhammad Khalid Nordin, Minister of Higher Education, to deliver his officiating remarks for GHEF 2023.
Please welcome Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Muhammad Khalid Nordin to the stage.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good morning to all. Yang berbahagia Datuk Dr. Haji Megat Sani, Megat Ahmad Supian, Deputy Secretary General, Policy Ministry of Higher Education, and senior officers of the ministry. Yang berbahagia Profesor Datuk Seri Dr. Abdul Rahman Muhammad, Deputy Chairperson GHEF 2023, Excellencies, Ambassador and High Commissioners, distinguished guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to be here today, and I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me, and allow me on behalf of the Ministry of Higher Education and the Government of Malaysia to welcome all participants of the 8th Global Higher Education Forum, or GHEF 2023. Selamat datang to all from near and far to Malaysia and to this conference. With the theme Equity Recovery, Higher Education in the post-pandemic era, this forum aims at providing an open platform for stakeholders in the higher education sector to meet and discuss the dynamics and challenges of post-pandemic, with a particular focus on advancing equitable recovery efforts. This theme is selected because the global pandemic, as we all know, has significantly impacted all segments of society. And of course, our higher education sector is also not spared. While it is true that we are gradually transitioning out beyond the crisis, it is also crucial to address emerging challenges and opportunities faced by higher education in the post-pandemic era. This means we must not only identify possible solutions and avenues for growth. More importantly, we must critically explore fresh ideas and new approaches. As observed in many studies and reports, the COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in unavoidable closure of many higher education institutions in numerous countries worldwide, disrupting the education of millions of students in 2020 and 2021. While higher educational systems are trying their level best to adapt to these unprecedented challenges in varying degrees, the pandemic has indeed exposed the vulnerability of the current system to external factors. It underscores the importance of establishing educational system that can withstand unforeseen challenges and ensure equitable outcome for students during challenging times. Therefore, against this backdrop, GHEF2023 will be focusing on 4 important sub-themes. First, digital divide and inclusion. Second, talent and employability. Third, financial and socio-economic standing. And fourth, teaching and learning, policies and practices. Ladies and gentlemen, it is undisputed that equity in higher education has worsened during pandemic times. The shift towards remote learning during the pandemic presented significant challenges, especially for students from disadvantaged backgrounds. For these students, coping with learning has become more complex due to the digital divide. This issue must be viewed from the perspective of the ability for every student to reach their potential despite their background or any other challenges that they face. Hence, providing support to these students in response to the new learning mode is crucial. We need a more inclusive higher education environment. While many higher education institutions globally managed to face the challenges during the pandemic, they must now prepare themselves for a higher education landscape which is highly volatile and unpredictable. The preparation must especially include, among others, prioritizing equity as the main agenda. This is because in times of crisis, it is often the most vulnerable and marginalized members of the communities who suffer the most. Hence, the big question here is, how can we reduce such inequity? I believe there is no straightforward answer to that. Nevertheless, I firmly believe that this calls for a more strategic and stronger collaboration among institutions, jurisdictional authorities, educators, and other stakeholders so that we will all be better prepared for future cases, maybe another pandemic, and of course, maybe aftermath of any wars like what is happening in Gaza, in the Palestine. In many occasions and forums that I have appeared before this year, I have shared my view that collaborative and strategic engagement between governments, higher education institutions, and industry players must be intensified. The Ministry of Higher Education Malaysia believes that through multi-perspective discussion at the national, regional, and international levels, we can develop new approaches to teaching and learning that will contribute to a more effective and equitable education system. By leveraging diverse perspectives, ideas, knowledge, and experience, we can develop innovative solutions to the current challenges. In this regard, Malaysia wishes to humbly draw invaluable insight from the experiences and best practices of other countries while showcasing its own achievement and initiative in higher education development. And I believe GHEF2023 is again the right opportunity for us to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, I would also suggest that in our effort to strengthen global alliances and networking opportunities, we should take the opportunity to collectively examine at least three important aspects. Firstly, what are the best ways to bridge the gap between education and employment in terms of syllabus and coverage? Secondly, how do we enhance student readiness for the future workforce, especially in offering well-curated exposure and experience? And thirdly, with very limited resources, how do we build an ecosystem that will embrace and balance up the demands of digitalization as well as other disruptive technologies with the very intellectual definition or tradition that defines higher education? More importantly, all the three focuses must be handled without neglecting our SDG or ESG commitment, as well as the very goal of having an improved equity in the higher education. I would argue that this forum stands as a unique platform that brings together global expertise for discussing the future of higher education in the context of reducing inequity in an era which is highly volatile and unpredictable. I believe that all the innovative ideas and exciting recommendations generated in this forum should be considered as the basis for the development of a more equitable and future-proof of the higher education policies. Esteemed speakers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to express my sincere appreciation to staff at the Ministry, University Science Malaysia, and our strategic partner, Education Malaysia Global Services, along with all collaborators and esteemed journals for their invaluable contribution and participation in ensuring a smooth and successful running of this conference. I would also like to extend my sincere congratulations to the Secretariat involved, namely the Department of Higher Education, the National Higher Education Research Institute, and the Department of Polytechnic and Community Colleges for their unwavering commitment. Last but not least, I trust that all participants will find the session engaging and leave with invaluable experiences. Let us all forge a brighter future for higher education and its continued relevance in societal development in the years ahead. On that note, with Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I hereby officiate the 8th Global Higher Education Forum for 2023. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Muhammad Khalid Nordin, for the insightful words. Please kindly remain on stage as we would now like to invite Yang Berhormat to launch the opening ceremony.
To accompany Yang Berhormat on stage, I would like to invite Yang berbahagia Datuk Dr. Haji Megat Sani Megat Ahmad Supian, Yang berbahagia Datuk Dr. Muhammad Zabri Yusof, Yang berusaha Profesor Dr. Adlinda Azman, Yang berusaha Dr. Haji Muhammad Zahari Ismail, Yang berbahagia Datuk Seri Dr. Awang Adi Hussein, Yang berbahagia Profesor Datuk Seri Insinyur Dr. Abdul Rahman Muhammad on stage.
Now we would like to bring two of our very own student participants, Siti Nurliana binti Samingin, Year 4 student of School of Humanities USM, and orang asli Eva Elika binti Jali, Year 3 student of School of Humanities USM, to hand over the missing puzzle to Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Muhammad Khalid Nordin to place it on the puzzle box.
A new challenge. Our world has changed in profound ways. Learning processes became more complex and crucial in the post-pandemic era. The internet became a barrier. Limited access to learning technology, insufficient access to educational support, and challenges in acquiring essential literacy and numeracy skills. Generate innovative ideas and solutions. New approaches to teaching and learning. Prioritize equity and inclusivity, learning opportunities. The power of flexibility and innovation. Ensuring equitable and inclusive learning opportunities. Cultivating a more inclusive higher education environment. responsive to diverse needs. A brighter future in higher education, providing equal opportunities for all. Together, we can build a more inclusive, accessible, and equitable future for all learners.
Wow, what a launch opening indeed. We would like to thank the kind Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri Khalid Nordin for joining us in marking a memorable opening for GHEF 2023. We have now come to the end of the launch ceremony, but please be assured, this is just an exciting beginning of the next few days.
Announcing the departure of Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri Muhammad Khalid Nordin and distinguished guests. How long is the break? You have to adjust the time, right? 10 minit? Yalah, but now the time dekat pukul 11 dah. Dekat pukul 10. So half an hour, right? For how long? Yeah. So what time do they want them to come back? So we actually finish early.
Despite them coming late. Huh?
Just see half an
So,
hour.
so for 30 minutes.